Good afternoon, Afro friends and family. My name is Alexis Taylor. I am your Afro News editor here with another edition of Afro News at Noonish. All right, we're going to be talking about things that are happening in this week's paper. Nadia, what do you have for us?
Okay, well, today or tomorrow actually is election day. And it's also the last day for everyone to vote for the gubernatorial elections. So make sure you are there at the voting polls. And I know that Tashi has a lot to say about election day.
Yes, Tashi, what can we expect? What's happening?
Yes, for sure. So I'll definitely be covering election day tomorrow. Definitely get out there. Please vote if you haven't. I will be covering throughout the day, coming with Man on the Street reports, and also we'll be covering election night, the Democratic Party for watch night. So I'll definitely have that content for you guys. And I'll move into as well something else I'll be covering this week. We'll have a report out from one of the latest city council hearings. At that city council hearing, the Public Safety and Government Operations Committee, they held a quarterly report from the mayor's office and the Baltimore City Police Department, and from other organizations like the Department of Housing, Community and Development. And these reports are helpful to make sure that these organizations are being held accountable, and then to make sure that we're tracking in the right direction, because a lot of the initiatives that they're pushing is specifically to prevent gun violence or to alleviate the issue of gun violence, and the different tactics that each agency is using. And some are group targeted, and some are more individual based. And that is what they spoke about. And that is what city council members, like Chairman Mark Conway, asked many questions about, just to make sure that we're right on track. And so that's what we'll have a report for everyone.
Thank you so much, Tashi. All right, I'll slide in here and I'll say congratulations are in order for Miss Lenora Halsey. She has been named Innovator of the Year by LMA. And so we are so proud to have her here. Local Media Association has highlighted her greatness that we see every day as members of the Afro team. So thank you so much and congratulations to Miss Lenora. All right, so Megan, we'll go to you in closing.
Yeah, so just before I get into the story, I'd like to share with everyone, just sticking with the theme of election week, I just want to make everybody aware that Lyft is offering discounted rides on election day, as well as free rides. So if you have trouble getting to the polls and you have a smartphone or something like that, try and get on Lyft and see if you can get a free ride so you can go vote. But the story that I like to talk about, so something I kind of looked into recently is the exodus of women from the workplace during the COVID-19 pandemic. So in those first few months of the pandemic, almost over 3 million women with school-age children left the workforce. And that was a lot more than men. And now that we're in 2022, women are returning to the workforce much more slowly. We've seen a higher recovery with fathers that have returned, not as high as a recovery with mothers. And I spoke with a family economics professor at the University of Maryland to kind of understand why women are not returning to the workforce and why they decided to leave. And, he touched on a few things, such as women are still not earning as much as men in the traditional workforce. I believe it is about 80% of what men make, women make. And then as well as women are more productive in the households. And then you also have the fact that daycare centers closed. You have the fact that transportation closed. You have the fact that some employers couldn't offer the benefits that they could offer before, like having daycare centers at their jobs or allowing women to come in later because they have to drop their kids off. And I also spoke with 3 women who are mothers themselves, and I talked to them about their reasons for leaving the workforce and checked in with what they're doing today. Some of them have started their own businesses or even revived businesses that they had started years before kind of entering that traditional workforce, and now they're returning to their passions. And then some of them kind of took a break because they were new mothers. and then have now just recently returned to the traditional workforce. So that's just a really interesting story to kind of see why this phenomenon is happening.
So thank you for that. I cannot wait to read that coverage. All right. And if you are a woman in that position, definitely reach out to Megan. Megan, what is your email?
So you can send emails to msales, sales is SAYLES, at afro.com if you are interested in sharing your story about why you left the workforce.
All right. And you can also tell us by following us on social media. We are on Facebook, we're on Instagram, Twitter, all of the different platforms. We hope to hear from you. If you want, you can also send a letter to the editor at afro.com. That's EDITOR at afro.com. We hope to hear from you and thank you for listening to another edition of Afro News at Noonish.